How to change your conditioning. Hello champion, I'm Dr. Meghna Dikshit, author of You Matter, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our channel. Here we explore the fascinating realms of the mind and brain, share the secrets to success, help you heal your past, and prepare for a brilliant future. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. And to all our returning viewers, a heartfelt welcome. Now, if you're ready to dive into the incredible world of brain potential, type dive in the chat box right now. Also, if you want more help from me, there are 2 links in the caption. First is to register for my live seminar to train your brain to achieve all your goals. And second is you can purchase my book, You Matter, through the link and start your personal growth journey with me. Now let's focus and dive deep into today's topic. What is conditioning and how do we overcome it? In the 1890s, a Russian physiologist, Ivan Pavlov, did this particular experiment with dogs. Every time the dogs were fed, the bell rang. Very soon the dogs came to associate the ringing of the bell with getting food. One day the bell kept ringing and no food was given to the dogs. But it was noticed that the dogs still salivated in the hope of getting the food. It was also noticed that the dogs would salivate whenever they heard the footsteps of the caretaker in anticipation of receiving the food. Let me give you another example. Every day morning, as soon as we wake up, the first thing that we do after getting out of the bed is visit the bathroom, brush our teeth. Majority of us humans follow this routine. Both these examples are of classical conditioning. And nowadays, if you look at it, it's also touching your phone and going on social media. This is conditioning. What do I mean by classical conditioning? Classical conditioning is a process that our brain goes through when it has been exercised repeatedly to think a certain way. It's like lifting the weights. We daily lift weights, our muscles get conditioned. The similar way, repeatedly being told or asked to do a certain thing at a particular time conditions the mind. From childhood, we were told to brush our teeth as soon as we woke up. Now, as adults, our brain is conditioned to do the same, and if one day we miss it, then we feel something is not right. Do you get what I'm saying here? Type IGI in the chat box. I got it. When we train for marathon running, the first few miles we put in the effort, after that our muscles take over as they are conditioned a particular way. Conditioning happens 24/7. When we walk on the road, we are conditioned to follow the road signs. I'll give you one more example. When my child was small, one day he had a play date. Some of his friends were over to our home for a day over. It was lunchtime and I had prepared some vegetable pulao and also some butter chicken rice. Now, amongst the group, there was one boy who was a vegetarian, and looking at the butter chicken dish, he blurted out on my son, "You are eating an animal, you are a bad boy." My son, who loves butter chicken, immediately looked at me with a shock and said, "Mama, I don't want to eat butter chicken, I'm not a bad boy." Now that friend was conditioned from his childhood that eating non-vegetarian food is bad and makes a person bad. Conditioning thus shapes our behaviors, thoughts and emotions, and it forms our biases about ourselves and the world at large. That boy eventually broke his friendship with my son. So strong is the conditioning. Have you experienced something like this in your life too? Let me know what are some of your experiences related to this conditioning in your life, or if you're observed in other people's life. Let's dive deeper now. There are 2 parts to conditioning: stimulus and response. A stimulus is that which triggers a physical or behavioral change, and response is a reaction to that trigger. Every time I put on my walking shoes, my dog gets very excited in the hope that I'm taking him for an outing. Me putting my shoes is the stimulus, my dog getting excited is the response. People eating non-vegetarian food is the stimulus, breaking of the friendship is the behavioral response. Is this so far so good? If yes, type SFSG in the chat box. So, is the conditioning good or bad? The fact is, we are conditioned by the food we eat, the culture we live in, our physical, social, religious, educational environment. In some aspects, conditioning is good as it keeps us from harm. But understand something here. The earliest conditioning began when the reptilian brain was formed millions of years ago. The brain got conditioned to keep itself safe and in comfort. Now, this is a very deep conditioning. Whatever we are today is a product of this conditioning. From this conditioning arose two main fears: I'm not enough and I'm not loved. Both these fears govern our thoughts, leading to forming of the beliefs, forming the patterns and creating our experiences, which in turn reinforces the belief. I will give you a small example of this. For generations, the girl child has been looked upon as a burden by the parents to be married off at the earliest. This conditioning has led some parents to not spend on the education of their daughter, as the belief is that one day she has to get married and go away to her husband's home. The daughter is thus brought up with a single-minded conditioning that she has to learn to be a good wife and a good daughter-in-law. Please understand that I'm not making a judgment here on what is right or wrong. We are talking about conditioning. The girl thus conditioned is married off. God forbid, if she suffers any kind of ill treatment at her husband's home, the conditioning is so deep-rooted that she will not mention it to her parents in the fear that they may suffer through her. Today also, in our programs, I have seen many such cases of harassment and abuse. One another such conditioning that men go through is that men are strong and don't cry. Now this too is a very deep conditioning. In my recent years of working as a brain and personal development coach, I'm seeing the increasing numbers of men coming to me for consultations suffering from deep emotional issues. My best friend lost her mother just 2 months back. Her father is obviously grieving but does not express any emotional loss. So did my father. When I lost my mother, we all were crying, but my father chose to be a strong man of the family. My friend tells me that her father has not cried at all. Strong men don't cry is a strong conditioning. Men are at a loss to understand how to process their emotions, and because they are not taught to process their emotions effectively, most of the times the result is aggressive behavior. This aggressive behavior impacts relationships and family life. I myself have gone through a lot of conditioning while growing up. My father was a very strict man. He brought all of his daughters as no less than boys, while my mother was totally opposite. She wanted her daughters to be like daughters, constantly telling us to behave like girls. This conflicting conditioning had its own tone on me. Many years later, when I failed in my partnership, my health, relationship, money, everything was at a rock bottom. It was then that I decided to restart my life. It was then I started working on my patterns and deep beliefs that I realized. If I want to grow effectively, then the first thing to do is to decondition all that has been conditioned. How did I change my conditioning? I'm going to share with you 3 effective tips. So get your pen and paper ready and start writing down. Tip number 1. Becoming aware of your self-talk. What is the chatter in my mind? Does the voice in the head keeps on telling me to be careful? The first thing is to start writing down the thoughts. Any and every thought. Just put it down on the paper. Do this daily in the morning for 10 minutes for 90 days. Tip number 2. Letting go of the past belief. This is easier said than done. It's an ongoing process, so don't look for shortcuts. For this, you will need the guidance of a mentor. The key here is to go to the root of that belief. From where has that belief been formed? In our advanced programs, we teach our students a set of tools to identify the deep-rooted emotions and let them go. Tip number 3. Expand your awareness. Conditioning contracts our awareness. For example, we are conditioned to get good marks in exams so that we get admission in good college, so that we get a good job, so that we can get married and settle down and have children. This is fear-based conditioning. If I get less marks, then the fear sets in that I may not be able to graduate from a good college, and then it may hamper my job prospects and eventually hamper my life. To counter this, what is required is to expand the awareness. Now, how do we expand our awareness? So I tell all my students that morning time is the most crucial time. The first 20 minutes of the time that you wake up, do not look at your phone or read the newspapers. Instead, you write your thought journal, gratitude journal, meditate, do some breathing exercises, look at your goals and the action steps that you want to take to achieve them. Another way to expand awareness is to slow down. We are forever in the race against time. Slowing down is essential. Nobody is running anywhere. You are not losing any time if you slow down a little bit. It allows you to enjoy the moment, spend more time in nature, listen to the birds chirping, focus on one thing at a time. Not multitasking is a sure, short way to expand awareness. I've done a video on multitasking. If you would like to check that out, please go ahead and click on the link. So today onwards, follow these 3 steps and overcome conditioning to grow in your life and get the desired results for yourself. If this video was useful, please share it with your friends. And if you do want more help from me, there are 2 links in the caption. One is to register for my live seminar to train your brain to achieve all your goals. And the other one is to purchase my book You Matter through the link and start your personal growth journey with me. Until then, next time, thank you very much.